Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And quite a crowd I have here this morning. Yes, Fridays are often like that. Happy Friday to you. Good morning. Let's see here. Who is here? Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Dan, coming in from Buford. Nice that you're back from Omaha, Dan. Good morning, Jan. Coming. Looks like you are at your nest. Of course you are. Good morning, Lauren, and also Heather. Wonderful to see you guys today. Thank you so much for being on the wake up call. Yeah, so we are here to say some good stuff about us to once again have some positive and affirming thoughts in our lives. So let's set ourselves up for success today, and we're going to pull a card. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are going to be rewiring our own brains to really set ourselves up for success. Because when thoughts come up in our lives, which are going to try to take us off of our high flying disc, we are able to reach for better thoughts. When something comes up that's disruptive in our life, we will have better thoughts to reach for. So let's have some fun today. Pull a card and say that today I am fortunate. I am fortunate. I benefit from many chance encounters. So I am fortunate. I benefit from many chance encounters. Are you fortunate? You are fortunate. You benefit from many chance encounters. And I'm going to write that down in the comments that I am fortunate. And then I also benefit from many chance encounters. All right. Looks like Donna and Jan beating me to it. All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We are fortunate people. We do indeed benefit from many chance encounters. Now, when I look back at my own life, it's it's very clear to me that the biggest things that have happened, for my good, have all been as a result of just sort of like being in the right place at the right time. And of course, I put in plenty of work in the meantime. I'd always put in plenty of personal development, personal growth. But the fact is that I've had a lot of chances or chance encounters in my life that have benefited me tremendously, that have just like completely catapulted me in the direction that I needed to go. And so let's see here. Yeah, so we are fortunate people. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by people like you who I love and care about. I'm fortunate to be in a place that's very conducive to my personal growth and development. It's so incredible the number of chance encounters that I've had. Let's see here. Good morning. Looks like Brenda Jean has come by here, and hey, Susan's over here also from Crete. But I'll tell you, a chance encounter that I had a tremendous impact on my life was actually one where I met Brenda Jean. I actually met Brenda Jean over on Maui. That's how I got to be called Maui Paul. But I met Brenda Jean on Maui, and the reason that I met her was because I was actually I was scheduled to I was not scheduled to work, but I basically we had a driver call out. And so I was called in to go to work to actually take a group of people up to the top of Haleakala Mountain for the sunrise. Well, little did I know, Brenda Jean was actually doing it that day for her 50th birthday, and so it was entirely a chance thing that we even met. And I remembered that when I first got into work, I mean, I wasn't super duper enthused about being there because it wasn't really my day to be working. I was filling in for somebody else. But I got there and I saw this girl sitting in our lobby in like full winter motorcycle leathers, and I was like, now that's somebody who has read the Know Before You Go. And I was like, I want that girl on my bus. And I was the senior guy at the time, so I told the dispatcher, I'm like, you put her on my bus because I would like to I'd like to see more about this person who shows up to Hawaii with full motorcycle gear, full motorcycle leathers. Well, it turns out she was a motorcyclist. I was a motorcyclist. We connected, and eventually, she's the one who introduced me to the wonderful community that I live in right now. So the fact is that at the time I had no idea what where I was going in life, what I was going to be doing. Literally, that was the very last tour that I ever did with that company because there was a gigantic cataclysmic world event that happened one day later, which was the shutting down of Maui because of coronavirus, and then subsequently for the next 2 years. So the fact is that my chance meeting with Brenda Jean, which happened the very last trip that I ever did up that mountain professionally, that had completely changed the course of my life. And so, what I'm curious with you guys is, what kind of chance encounters have you had that have changed the course of yours, that have just propelled you in a totally different direction than you ever thought you would go? I know that with me, it has happened. It with me, it's happened quite a few different times that I have just benefited from encounters with people that have just catapulted me in totally different directions. When I lived down in Central America, I was actually considering, I lived there for a couple of years, and I was really considering like just kind of giving up and going home. Stuff wasn't working out for me, and then I had a totally random chance encounter with a guy who spoke English, and he introduced me to a totally different group of expats that I had never met before, that I wasn't even aware lived in my area. And I spent the next 5 years in Central America doing house sitting for these people. Just 24 hours before that, I've been thinking about packing my bags. So the fact is that we benefit from all kinds of chance encounters, and so we are very fortunate in that regard. But what is good fortune except recognizing the richness of our lives, the richness of our experience? Being fortunate is more than it's more than like money. It's more than wealth or fame or status or titles or anything like that. To be fortunate is to understand that we are that we have great fortune just because we are alive today, just because we have the ability to change and make manifest our will in this world right now, that we have this incredible ability to make the world a better place. And indeed we do. And so as we go through our lives today, let's realize that we're going to have chance encounters with people. And we need to just be sort of like open to the fact that we're going to have these encounters and that we get to say yes to cool stuff. And so as we do that, and as we understand that the universe itself is conspiring for our favor, that we get to that we get to have all of this that we get to have all this amazing opportunity, then we will benefit even more from the chance encounters that we have. So I am fortunate today. You are fortunate as well. And so let's celebrate our good fortune by being alive, by being here, by being able to just hang out in a supportive environment today, and just be surrounded by friends that we know and love and appreciate. So we are fortunate. Now, this being Friday, of course, you guys know that I am going through the cards for the week. So let's see how we got here. We started off the week by declaring that we are whimsical and that we approach life with joy and wonder, and how what good fortune it is to be able to do that. What good fortune that we have, that we can have that perspective, that we can approach life that way. And ultimately all of the the different encounters that we have really are amplified when we can approach life with that joy of wonder, with that sense of play. On Tuesday, we affirmed that we are colorful, that we cultivate beauty wherever we go. We recognize our capacity to create beauty. We recognize our capacity to understand where the world needs to be a little bit different, and to be bold enough to actually make that difference that only we can make. And so on Tuesday, we affirmed that we are colorful. On Wednesday, we affirmed that we are brilliant, and that our inner light shines in dark places. How can we be colorful except that to be also brilliant, to understand that it's not just color that we bring to the world, but light, and that as we bring that light to the world, and that as we are able to create that rainbow experience for the folks around us, that we are very much illuminating dark places. And when we do that, when we illuminate those dark places, then we are able to really manifest the type of change that we are excited to see in this world. Of course, that brilliance that we have manifests itself as some determination, because we affirmed on Thursday that we are determined, that we move intentionally toward our dreams, and this determination is something that helps us to amplify our brilliance. It helps us to continue to put our color in the world methodically, and make sure that the world is just methodically a better place. And of course, it helps us to, as we benefit from the many chance encounters, because we are fortunate people. All of this stuff combines for our awesome Saturday card, which we all know by now is that we are awesome. So let us recognize our inherent value and worth. Let's just recognize that just because we are here on this planet, that is what that is the that is our permission slip to just do really cool stuff, to be the best, the biggest, best, most awesome version of ourselves. And we have to recognize that we are that we are inherently valuable and worthy, because when we do that, it empowers us to be determined to move forward on our dreams. It opens our eyes to the fortunate circumstances. It makes us recognize our own inherent brilliance. It helps us to color that world differently, and it helps us to approach life with joy and wonder when we understand that we are inherently worthy and valuable of living this experience, of having this experience called life. So, my beautiful friends, that was our cards for the week. We are indeed fortunate that we can gather here in order to celebrate, and in order to really affirm this about ourselves and about each other. So let's see what you guys have to say. I know those comments have been going off. So first of all, thank you guys so much for being here, Donna, Dan, Jan, Lauren, Heather. Wonderful to see you guys here today. Let's see here. Um, it's great to see you here, Brenda Jean. Hello from the road trip. I hope that your road trip is going amazing. And let's see here. Yeah, Dan says, is it chance or destiny? What a great question. When people talk about the future, there are definitely two schools of thought about the future. One school of thought is that everything is kind of pre-recorded and we are just experiencing it. And the other thought is that everything is a bit random, and that there's all kinds of stuff bouncing across each other or itself, all manner of different things happening all at the same time, and that it would be impossible to predict. And I think that no matter what what the reality is or what the truth is, I personally believe that universal forces are always working together for my benefit, and that ultimately this world that I am surrounded by, that I perceive, is benevolent toward me. And that belief, though completely unfounded, has caused me to see the best in life, and consequently allows me to have a richness of my experience. Good morning, Susan from Crete, Greece. You said you'd make it, so that's super cool that you did. Nice to see you here. Let's see. Heather says, all encounters are fortunate, either positive and enlightening, to make me stop and evaluate. Oh, I really like that. I like that, Heather. It's not about what happens to us in life. It's about how we parse it, how we think about it. Let's see. Um, All right. Yeah, Brendan Jean, you were talking about the epic motorcycle ride we had in those tsunami rains. Okay, so I took Brendan Jean for our motorcycle ride, and I'm like, I'm gonna take her to a part of the island that I guarantee she hasn't been to, but also a part that she could probably use a Sherpa for. And yeah, I mean, I looked at it. I was like, there are clouds way, way off in the future, or on the horizon. I'm like, those aren't gonna make it here for another 4 hours. Boy, was I wrong. We got caught in this torrential downpour, and she had this motorcycle with a super old tire, this rental bike. And yeah, I mean, she was slip sliding all over the place, and yeah, it was an absolute mess. We had quite the adventure, though. It was the fun absolute mess, but it was an absolute mess. I felt bad. Uh, let's see here. Janet says that she was fortunate when she randomly met Pete and Maya from Wisconsin and Cleveland, Georgia, while they were trekking around the country. Ah, yes, Pete and Maya have been instrumental in a lot of our lives. Just wonderful, wonderful people. I consider myself fortunate to have met them as well. Let's see. Dan says chance encounters happen all the time. Your ability to see potential is the difference between growth and stagnation. Ooh, that is powerful, Dan. I agree. Yeah, when we realize that the things that are happening to us are happening for our good, then we can use that to grow, even when the situation is lousy. I mean, some of the situations in my life that have been the lousiest, that have felt the worst, have been such a catalyst for growth for me that have catalyzed me into new versions of myself, and I'm always excited about that. So that great perspective, Dan. Let's see here. Oh, hey there, Josiah. Good to see you here today. Oh, and Tina as well. Great to see you too. Have arrived. Thank you so much for being on the wake up call. We do this every morning at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and yeah, really appreciate you guys for being here. Janet says the universe has perfect timing for me. The law of attraction allows me to attract the things that I want, to the chance to experience, satisfied, and more. You got quite away with words, Jan. I steal a lot of your little sayings, but one of them is satisfied. Um, it's wonderful to recognize when we are satisfied, when we have a state of enoughness in our lives. It's so easy for us to strive and strive and strive, and then never actually be happy, even as we achieve goal after goal after goal. But when we miss the or you know when we recognize that we are satisfied, and when we understand that, it allows us to have an amazing life experience, because we're like, you know what, we are satisfied, we are content. The ability to be content is such a superpower. All right. Good morning. Looks like Teresa has showed up today. Good morning, Teresa. And I am about to be out of here. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to those of you who share this broadcast. I appreciate you amplifying this message across the internet. Y'all are amazing. We will return on Monday at 9 a.m. with another group of another positive, empowering message from these cards. And yeah, until then, I just want to remind you guys that you're awesome, that I love you, that I appreciate you, that your life is worth living, that your life is worthy of living to the absolute fullest. So, man, so today on this Friday, let's recognize how fortunate we are. Let's recognize all the good that is in our lives. Let's recognize all the wonderful people that surround us. Let's recognize the situations that are all working together for our good. And as we do that, let's be on the lookout for the chance encounters that will absolutely redefine our experience. Until we meet again, my beautiful friends, aloha from paradise.